Ocean Pines is a vibrant residential community nestled on Maryland's eastern shore. With over 9 miles of waterfront property, amenities like an 18-hole championship golf course and a public yacht club, and a rich history dating back to 1968. Of course, if you live here, you probably know most of that. And if you don't, it's almost all apparent from your first visit. Each week on the Pines Cast, we work to bring out the ocean pines that might be less apparent. We celebrate the region, the amenities, and, most of all, the people who make and keep Ocean Pines a special place to live. Welcome to the Pines Cast, your source of news and insights about Ocean Pines and the official podcast of the Ocean Pines Association. This week, we are speaking with Bob Ciprietti. He is the owner of Touch of Italy, which has opened, depending upon when this comes out, in Ocean Pines, and has taken over the food and beverage operations for lots of the community. This is a great conversation. Bob is very comfortable with himself. He's very good at what he does, and he's very good at talking about what he does. So I'm going to stay out of the way, and let's get this conversation started. But stay on the other side, because we have a new outro, and I'm dying for you to hear it. But anyway, here's Bob. So you have places kind of all over the peninsula. Let's start with how you got into the restaurant business, and a short, I guess, as short as possible, because you have so many places, history of how you've come to where you are today.
I started in the restaurant business in New York. I had built a couple of hundred restaurants in my career in the construction business, and it grew from there to eventually where we got to the beach in Delaware. I had segued out of the construction business in 2009 because the economy did that.
Yeah.
And I was coming down to relax and play golf and try to enjoy life.
That's pretty cool, but that's a big deal though. Like, you're not partnering, you're starting something. So what was that like?
I'm not afraid of much. So I just started it, right? We just started, and I understand the most important thing is the guest. And you have to take care of the guest, because without the guest, you have nothing, right?
Right.
You can have the best food in the world. You can have the nicest place in the world. But if nobody comes, you have nothing. So, you got to take care of the people that take care of you.
And you must do that well enough, because you also have a bunch of like you have a contract place up in Dover, and you've got some other Delaware-based things. So how did those come about?
So up in the casino, the head of customer relations and the general manager at the time, Tony Rohr, were looking for a restaurant to take over their signature space. Used to be Michelle's, and they were coming out of COVID, and they really wanted a steakhouse environment. We obviously were in the Italian world, and they reached out through a friend, and I met them, and they're like, "Listen, Bob, we love Touch of Italy, but..." So I said, "Hey, I grew up in a steakhouse. The Palm Restaurant is where I hung out. I understand the steakhouse mentality really well. Give us a chance to prove to you." So we auditioned for them, and we had everybody. We had the whole entire leadership team, including the CEO of Twin Cities, come to Ocean City, and we performed. And we opened the steakhouse that night in the wine room, and they loved it. And they were like, "Hey, well, you got it. You're right." And we signed a long-term lease there.
That's fantastic. That must have been an awesome dinner. It makes me think of The Big Night. You're familiar with the movie?
Yes, I am. I am. We didn't end up fighting on the beach afterwards.
And right. So do you think it's harder to develop a name or to keep a name? Because you've got a name now with Touch of Italy specifically.
That's a great question. So the name is irrelevant until it becomes relevant, right?
Right.
And now you have to protect it, because I take it personal. That's why I'm really, really difficult on my staff and the people that work with me, that everything is always as best it can be right? Because It should be great, because good is great's worst enemy. And I'm the guy responsible for it, because ultimately I'm on the podcast with you. A month or so ago, I stood up in front of 150 people at Ocean Pines with a microphone and I don't know how many on the on computer, and I gave them all my cell number, 914-906-0175. You can leave that in. And if they got a problem or they want something or they have a suggestion, call me, you know, because I'll help you and I'll do the best I can. Because my goal is to make you happy, right? Because I'm in the hospitality business, not the restaurant business.
That's fantastic. And I wonder if part of that is like if that gives people enough confidence that they feel they're never going to have to call. Like, does your phone probably doesn't ring a whole lot if you're still giving out the number.
No, it does ring. So it rang a lot. And I will tell you, 90% of the calls we got from the people at Ocean Pines, some of them were redundant questions, which we answered, but 90% of them were supportive and were trying to give advice, right? They meant well.
Uh-huh.
And one that sticks out of my head is this lady that a group used to go for happy hour all the time to the Tiki Bar at the Yacht Club. And when they extended the Yacht Club, the sun where they put their tabletops, there were no umbrellas, and they didn't want to sit in the sun. And they said, we don't come anymore because it's too sunny. We're older. We can't sit in the sun. Okay. Well, guess what? They're going to be able to come back because I'm putting umbrellas in the tables.
How hard is that, right?
How hard is that? Right. Exactly. So that was great advice, and you have to listen to people because what's not important to you is important to them. And if we want to make them happy, we try to accommodate them.
That is super cool. Well, as long as I've got you, let's go ahead and go over some of the redundant questions. What are the questions you keep getting and what are the answers so that people have them here too?
Can you get the golf course to cut the rough?
That's great. When you look at a place like Ocean Pines, because there are three different things with three different expectations. And, I think the steakhouse is kind of a good example. Like you're not, as you said, if you're in the restaurant business, then you're all about your menu. And if you're in the hospitality business, then you're all about your customers, your guests. So how do you kind of envision this shaking out for these three different?
So let's start at the country club, AKA the golf course, right?
Right.
So we envision starting nice and slow there. This golf season starting, the weather's about to break. So we want to make sure the golf course is being serviced, obviously, prior to May 1. So we're going to do some, I'm a golfer, so I understand about grab and go. I understand having the first tee and getting a cup of coffee, maybe getting a bacon, egg, and cheese or a bagel and stuff like that. So we're going to make sure that's ready. We're going to make sure the bar is set up nice. And then we're going to develop a nice little breakfast program, but we're not going to have 200 items, right?
Right.
It just doesn't pay to have 200 items because you can't make 200 items great, right?
Mm.
So we have 7 or 8 items. They're going to be great. And then we'll rotate them. Hey, we don't like this. Maybe we should have that. And then, of course, if it's July, you don't want oatmeal,
Right.
So you may want a parfait or something like that. So we'll adapt with the seasons. We listen to the guest for sure. We always take comments, et cetera, and if you have an issue, just let us know. The Facebook thing and beating people up on Facebook, we don't get involved in that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, because I can't, you can't make everybody happy. But if you come to us, we'll address it.
I love your approach to grab and go because a lot of times when I end up at a place and I'm looking for like a grab and go thing, what I go through in my head is like, all right, what can't they screw up? Right. But if you keep it nice and small, then that takes the pressure off.
Exactly. So, and the last thing I want to do is, I don't want to make a 4.5 hour round the golf, a 6-hour round the golf. So when they come and make the turn, it's got to be ready, right?
Yeah.
We're not serving chicken wings. Why? Because golfers don't want to have chicken wings in dirty hands while they're making the turn. And then we're going to, on hole number 8, we envision having an app where you can order ahead of time. So when you're coming around the turn, it's ready. Or we may even put somebody there just to take the orders to get started. And my goal is to always have, in peak times, 2 bar cart persons on the golf course to facilitate, hydration.
Is there anything worse? Like when you're like, oh, should I let them go because I don't know when I'm ever going to see them again?
Exactly.
That's the worst.
Exactly. So I don't know why they always put one out there with 18 holes. It doesn't make sense. Give them an opportunity to make some money. These kids, right? They want to make some money. And the golfers, they want, if the guy wants a drink, he wants a drink. you know. And I don't know about this golf course, but is there water on the holes anymore? Because a lot of these places since COVID, they don't have water holes anymore.
But I don't know either.
I have a whole list of stuff. Like I said, I'm a golfer. And then at the golf course, we also want to upgrade the experience because there's a lot of guys, people I'm calling. Hey, a lot of the women have said, hey, we have nine and dine. Can we have food afterwards? We're going to stay open. We're not going to close at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. We'll stay open till 8 o'clock until nobody's there. We're going to upgrade the outside so you can smoke a cigar, have a drink, bring a rollout bar out there and try to get a little music, put some bigger TVs up out there. And because when people are playing in these groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got a lot of packages. So there's 6 foursomes, 5 foursomes. By the time the first one finishes and the last one finishes is 45 minutes.
Right.
So you got to have something for them to do. So give them a good experience.
And they'll maybe stay for 50 minutes, right? Or an hour
Maybe
and a half.
maybe they'll stay an hour and a half. Maybe they'll come back again. Hey, let's play this place again because you know what? They didn't lock the place up on us, and we can have a cigar, we can have a drink, and we can have some good food at an affordable price.
And again, that is that's one of the awful experiences where you feel like they're looking at their watches and saying, "Why are you still here spending money when I could be on my way home?"
Well, we have a rule, and we'll explain that to the new people that come to work with us. We have a rule, like if because the liquor boards, they always want you to post hours, but our rules are if we close at 9 o'clock and you come at 9 o'clock. You can stay till 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever the legal is. We don't care because that's what we're here for.
That's incredible. And it's incredible to make that known because I know a lot of times with my wife, we'll go out and, it'll be 8 and she'll say, oh, the place closes at 9. I'm like, well, it's 8. And she's like, yeah, but they're going to be rushing us out the door if you sit down at 8:15, and because they want to walk away at 9:05.
Right. Well, if you're working with us and you do that, you will not be working with us anymore.
That's fantastic. It's very exciting to hear. And so how about the other places? Let's do the beach club next because the yacht club is a special place. And I guess we'll save that.
So the beach club, it's going to be rebranded as the beach club. So we're going to upgrade the experience there, in my opinion, to the food quality that we serve at Sunset Island, which we've been there for now at least 3 full seasons, and they've extended our lease there. It's a great place, by the way. We're going to have affordable, nice drinks, great beach food, high quality experience, affordable price, and everybody should be pleasant. We're going to have some on Fridays and Saturdays. We're going to have 1 and 2 piece bands, not band, musicians.
Right.
We're going to try to extend the hours to the place to maybe 8 o'clock at night. Maybe run a happy hour from 5 to 8, have music. It's a beautiful setting, right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful setting. We were told at 5 o'clock, everybody leaves and goes on their way. And we're going to try to just change that. It may take a year or so before we were able to do that. But that's the goal.
Hey there, listeners. Are you in the Ocean Pines area and looking for a pharmacy that goes above and beyond? Look no further than Tidal Health Home Scripts. Open 6 days a week, our knowledgeable pharmacists are ready to fill your prescriptions in just minutes. Plus, we offer free home delivery in the Ocean Pines area and have a super convenient drive-through window. Need over-the-counter items? We've got a large selection. And with our monthly sales, you'll find everything you need at great prices. Conveniently located at the North Gate of Ocean Pines, Tidal Health Home Scripts is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. To fill a prescription or arrange for a free home delivery, give us a call at 410-543-4769. That's 410-543-4769. Remember, that's Tidal Health Home Scripts, your trusted pharmacy partner. One of the things that I am always curious about at the beach club, because you said you were adding the umbrellas, and like there is I'm sorry, it's been actually a while since I've been there, but there's also like a recreation area there, right? Are you going to be able to make any use of that? Is that part of what you do, or is that going to be part of what?
When you say the are you talking about where like the kids will have birthday parties and they have like the gym and all that stuff there?
Yeah. And wasn't there like a volleyball net or something? Am I crazy? It could have been 1,000 years ago. I'm sorry if I'm...
The volleyball nets, where, at the beach club or the yacht club?
Yeah, at the beach club.
Oh, no, the volleyball nets are going up. People are going to have fun. There's going to be, cornhole. There's going to be, some games and stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And just making sure it's getting better, but also staying at least a little the same.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And speaking of getting better, but also staying a little bit the same, how about the Yacht Club? Because that's been I've been covering Ocean Pines on and off for the last 25 years, I think, or 20 years. And the Yacht Club is always an issue. So what do you have in mind for the Yacht Club?
What do you mean by an issue?
Well, people always want it to be the way it used to be when it wasn't this way. And that's
Okay,
been the
well,
same
I
for
don't
20
know.
years.
I don't know what that means because I have never experienced that part.
Uh-huh.
So I look at it. There are three different parts of the yacht club. One, you have this big, beautiful tiki bar that you built there with a beautiful setting, right?
Right.
So the backyard of all three of these places, your restaurant, your catering facility, your banquet facility, and your tiki bar, does not suck, right?
Right. No,
You
it's
got a
good.
beautiful view.
Yeah.
It's spectacular. So we're going to use that to complement. We're going to use that and complement that view with what we do. So the tiki bar will be just like a tiki bar, whether you're, at Sunset Island or here. Great food experience, nice drinks, affordable pricing. We got a lot of entertainment booked. We were told entertainment's key. We booked entertainment Thursday through Sunday throughout the whole entire season. And then when we don't have entertainment, we're going to have nice music playing, background music there. And we're going to take care of our guests. That's on the tiki bar side.
Yeah.
And it's going to complement the pool and the outside patios. And at the banquet facility upstairs, we're going to be able to run a banquet and keep the restaurant open and keep the whole place moving. You have a beautiful view from up there. We've inherited some brides and some events. And we're going to, do our best to make their experience first class. And change some of the menu items there on them because they have a lot of different selections there on their catering menu.
Mm-hmm.
So some we're going to honor obviously because they made that agreement already and that's what their expectations are. But we're also going to create other expectations, not only in the American fare world, but also in other cuisines and also Italian.
And so the idea is it again kind of like to keep it a little bit more narrow so that people have fewer but better decisions to make? Does that sound right?
So it won't. This will be the reverse of limited because when someone's having an affair, we know how many people are coming. We know exactly what they want, and they may have a wide range of choices. But at that point, they've narrowed it down to, hey, we're going to have these 8 items, and those 8 items, we know what's coming. We do them really well, and they're going to be exceptional.
Excellent. And how about downstairs in the restaurant?
Downstairs in the restaurant, that's going to be a work in progress. We're going to start off small with a nice, small, limited, rounded menu. A little bit Italian, a lot of American classics, not so beach, but Maryland classics. Right, you got to have a crab cake.
Right.
Got to have some fish special entrees and things like that. Some appetizers, salads. We're going to have some great desserts, not only from our commissary and our bakery that we make in Rehoboth, but also some other items, local favorites. And we're going to start there. And of course, it's the summer season, so obviously the menu is going to change and evolve as we go through the seasons, and we get feedback from our guests. Because, like when I did the town hall, the first guy that asked me a question, besides asking me how Ocean Pines could get out of the deal, right? His issue was the $7 hot dog. So we're going to have now the $7 hot dog for $5, right? And then another gentleman got up who says, "Hey, I frequent your steakhouse in Dover. We really like the white tablecloth experience, and sometimes we like a nice romantic night out, whatever." So you have 2 spectrums, right? The guy that wants the $7 hot dog for $5,
right? That's kind of what I was getting at.
And the gentleman that wants a nice steak dinner or a nice high upscale dinner, maybe sit for 3 hours with his significant other and have a nice experience. So we're going to try our best. So that $7 hot dog for $5 will be predominantly, obviously, outside at the tiki bar, at the pool, and then 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to segue to the dinner menu, but also we know the tiki bar is going to be still running until 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and we'll also have that tiki bar menu available out there. But inside, we'll try to accommodate a family that wants to sit down, or anybody wants to sit down and have dinner at a different pace.
That makes so much sense. Rather than having, two people sitting next to one another, one who wants to get in and out in 25 minutes and the other one wants to get in and out in 3 hours. You want to go to the tiki bar, you go there and you can stay, you can go, but you can get the lighter fare, and you don't have to decide, do I want to sit at the white tablecloth type place?
And I'm not saying we're going to have tablecloths, but it's going to be just an upscale, a different experience, right? And the other key thing is, so a lot of people live here, right? So they come in the 8, they want to go to the pool, they're having lunch there. The last thing they want to do is come back for dinner and have the same menu.
Right.
Right? I don't care how good the hamburger is or the pizza is. Hey, I want a piece of fish. I want something else. I want to sit down. I don't want a plastic utensil. I want to, and I want a glass for my wine. I don't want a plastic cup because it's outside by the pool.
Yeah, that's. I'd rather go thirsty a lot of times.
Yes, so that's, I think, a good overview of where we're going, and it's going to take a little time to get there. But everybody, please be patient, and as we progress, we're going to learn from the feedback we get from our guests.
And do you feel like you'd like to elaborate on the commissary?
Just a little less than 2 years ago, we built a state-of-the-art commissary bakery in Rehoboth Beach next to our flagship Touch of Italy on the highway in Rehoboth. And that's where we centralize all our sauces and a lot of our baked goods and a lot of the products that we serve in the restaurants. It gives us the ability, one, for food safety, because we are a state-of-the-art facility, which I'm proud to tell you is immaculate. And the state of Delaware the health department has used that as the as a role model for food safety now as we're moving forward. And it also gives us consistency.
Right.
So if you're having the sauce in Lewis or you're having it at Ocean Pines, it's the same.
Literally,
because it's made in one place. It comes, we hot pack it, which is a food processing term. It gets containerized. It's fresh for 40 days. We use it faster than that, and we open it up. We heat it up. Then we add certain things to it, but it's consistent. Everything is consistent.
And I'd like to talk a little bit about how you came to be at Ocean Pines. Like, how did this whole deal happen? Because I know it was hush hush for a while, and then it was openly hush hush for a while. So
well, we were just as surprised as the progress, and just joking. We were just as surprised as everybody else. So we got notified that there was an RFP out there, similar to how we did it at Sunset Island. There was a request for proposal issued by Ocean Pines. It went out to the public. We got a hold of it. We responded. We answered some questions. We put in a proposal. Then we heard that we were selected to be the restaurant group that was going to move forward at Ocean Pines. So we were not involved, and we didn't understand. We didn't know what A, B, and C was until after it was done. We didn't have any heads up. There was no inside information. We did a lot of our own information, right?
Mm-hmm.
We gained it ourselves. We had some of my colleagues went to dinner in the restaurant. We did walk around a little bit, see what was going on. But ultimately, we looked at all three parts of this, and we realized we fit in each part, because Sunset Island, the Beach Club, the banquet catering, Dover, the restaurants were easy, Touch of Italy, and on the golf course side, I'm a golfer, and we do a lot of catering, and we do a lot of food service for special events at like Bear Trap, Dunes, and at Ocean City Golf Course, which I'm a member in both places.
Excellent. And I'm kind of coming up toward the end. Is there something that I should have asked and didn't, or something you thought you'd get the opportunity to say, but I didn't provide it?
Good question. I think you've covered all the bases. Maybe we should talk about the people that really make this work.
Okie doke.
Okay. So while I'm the guy with the microphone, I am not the guy that makes this whole thing work. It's all these other people that have been with us a very long time, and that leadership team is committed to the same values that I have, and then we have to make this work for not only the existing locations, but the excitement they have to come forward. And we're looking forward to adding to our team. And we've heard nothing but great things about a lot of people here from the people that live here. So that's a big bonus for us, because hopefully some of those people are going to come work with us and help us grow here also. But without them and without our guests, we have nothing.
You know what? I did come up with another question. I wanted to talk about the off season, because that's always a challenge. But with all your places at the beach, I guess you've got a good kind of off season way of doing things.
Yes and no.
Okay.
So up in Rehoboth and Lewis, we really don't have an off season anymore. It's really a full-time community, not as busy, obviously, after the holidays in January, February, and March as the summer months, but it's still functional, and the weekends are really busy, sometimes like July.
Wow.
Yes. Ocean City, where we are located at the Holiday Inn, it's a lot tougher. By contract, we're obligated to make breakfast there because it's a hotel, and we have to be open for dinner 3 hours a night, 7 days a week. Well, there are days that we don't serve 2 breakfasts at the Holiday Inn. So it's tough there. Here at Ocean Pines, we're gonna bump our way through the shoulder season. We're gonna see what's going on. We're gonna see if anybody's around. We're gonna see what the need is. Obviously, January, February, March. January, February, the golf course, is not as busy as it should be, with the weather, especially this past winter. So when there's a need, we'll make sure we fill it. I heard a lot that in October there's 200 golfers and they couldn't get this, they couldn't get that. That's nobody's fault, but we're going to take care. We're going to make sure that we're there for that opportunity.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's all I have for you then. Thank you so much for your time. And I can't wait to see how you do. Hopefully we'll talk next year. We'll talk about all the big changes you're going to make for 2026.
Next year. Got to wait that long?
Yeah. Okay. It's only 52 shows a year. So every 52nd, you can be the 53rd guest.
Okay, great. Awesome.
All right. Thanks so much.
Good talking to you. Take care. Bye.
The Pines Cast is an Ocean Pines Association production. It was written and edited by me, Tony Russo, and executive producer, we would like to welcome our new executive producer, Linda Martin. Please subscribe or follow, whichever your machine wants you to do, wherever you're listening now. If you're listening on your computer and would like to listen on your phone, just pick it up. If you have an iPhone, you'll see a purple circle. That purple circle is Apple Podcasts. Just go in there, type Pines Cast. We're the only one with that name, and then you can subscribe. And whenever a show comes out, you'll get a little notification on an Android device. You may have Spotify or Apple Music or some other podcatcher or music player. Pretty much every music player still gets podcasts as well. Again, just search Pines Cast and we'll come up and you can subscribe. That way you won't have to remember to download the episode. They will download automatically for you. If you have any feedback about how the show is going, or more important, something you would like to hear, or someone you think that I should interview, please reach out. You can email me at bytonyrusso@gmail.com. That is bytonyrusso@gmail.com. Just shoot me a note and I will respond. It's a pleasure to hear from you whenever you send those emails. And that is all for this time on the Pines Cast.